Yes, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at the solutions to the past question and answer quiz 3. Click on the subscribe button below so that you'll be the first to get all our works for your Jamb and WAEC. We'll start with English language. The first question says, for this question, choose the nearest meaning to the word or phrase in italics. The dispute between the two countries has resulted in severing of diplomatic relations. So the word is severing. Which word is nearest meaning to severing? A. Securing. B. Strengthening. C. Swapping. D. Breaking. So severing means to break. So the answer is D. Breaking. To sever is to break. So D is the nearest meaning. Breaking is the nearest meaning to severing. Number 2, for this question, choose the nearest meaning to the word or phrase in italics. All the candidates looked aghast at the first reading of the question. The word is aghast. Which word is nearest meaning to aghast? A. Dismay. B. Again. C. Fulfilled. D. Satisfied. The answer is dismayed. To be aghast is to be filled with horror or shock, or to be dismayed. So the word nearest meaning to aghast is dismayed. For the questions, choose the nearly opposite in meaning to the word or phrase in italics. Prolonged strike action debilitated the industry. Which of these words is opposite in meaning to debilitated? A. Isolated. B. Weakened. C. Destroyed. D. Invigorated. Debilitated simply means for something to be either weakened or destroyed. So the one that should be opposite in meaning to debilitated is invigorated. So the answer is invigorated. Debilitated means weakened. The opposite will be invigorate or strengthen. Mathematics. 3 girls shared a number of apples in the ratio 5:3:2. If the highest share is 40, find the smallest share. A. 16. B. 38. C. 36. D. 24. The answer is A. 16. How did we come about 16? We say let the total apple be X apples. The highest share is 40 apples. The total ratio is 5 plus 3 plus 2, which is equal to 10. So therefore, since 5 is the highest ratio, then 5 times the total apple over 10 should give us 40, since the highest share is 40. Now you say that 5x over 10 is equal to 40. Make x the subject of the formula. You will now get that 5x is equal to 400, so that x is equal to 80 apples. The smallest share is then 2 over 10 times 80, giving us 160 over 10 to give us 16 apple. We use 2 because 2 is the smallest ratio. So when you say 2 times the total number of apple, which is 80, all over 10, which is the total ratio, we get 160 over 10, which is 16 apples. Now, if the number m, n, q are in the ratio 5:4:3, find the value of 2n minus q all over m. A 2, B 1, 4, C 4, D 3. Given m, n, and q in the ratio of 5:4:3. The answer is B1. But how did we come about B1? Given m, n, and q in the ratio 5:4:3. That is, m is equal to 5, n is equal to 4, and q is equal to 3, which is what is given in the ratio, as you can see in the bracket. Now, 2 times n, which is 4, will be 2 times 4 minus 3 representing Q, all over M, which is represented by 5. So if you replace all the M, N, and Q with their ratio numbers, you have 8 minus 3 over 5, which is equal to 5 over 5, which is equal to 1. So simply what you do is you substitute the value of the ratios for the letters, then you solve down, you get 1. Very simple. Now, number 6. If some strips of sticks of length 7 cm, 9 cm, and 25 cm were cut independently from a single stem of a tree without a remainder, find the shortest possible length of that stem. Whenever you're given question like this, you just simply find the LCM of the numbers that you're given, since they are cut independently. Take note of that word, independently. That means you can get those numbers, 3 of each of those numbers on their own from the stick or from the stem. So the options are 81, 189, 54, or 197 cm respectively. So when the answer here is 189 cm, how did we get to this? The length of the sticks that we are cut out independently from a single stem of a tree without a remainder are 7 cm, 9 cm, 27 cm. The shortest possible length of the stem is the LCM of 7, 9, and 27. If you make this simple table, you can find the LCM of 7, 9, and 27, and that will be 3 times 3 times 3 times 7, giving us 189. You have different ways of finding LCMs. Now, biology. The chromosomes of members of the kingdom Monera are within the A. Cytoplasm, B. Nucleolus, C. Nucleoplasm, D. Nucleus. The answer is A. Cytoplasm. Why? Because Moneras are prokaryotes that lack definite nuclei. So since they lack definite nuclei, it cannot be inside their nucleus. In the view of this, their chromosomes are not found in the nucleus, but lie free in other parts of the cell. And you know that the other part of the cell is mainly consisting of the cytoplasm. So that's where the chromosomes are formed. Cytoplasm for prokaryotic cells. Very, very important. The cell organelle solely responsible for respiration is the A. Endoplasmic reticulum, B. Mitochondrion, C. Nucleus, D. Nucleolus. Whenever you talk about respiration and energy production in cell, then you're talking about the mitochondrion. So B is the answer. B. Mitochondrion is responsible for respiration in the cell. Energy is released in the mitochondrion from simple sugar. Mitochondrion is usually referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. Very, very important. The basic level of organization in living things is A. Cell, B. Tissue, C. Organ, D. System. The 4 levels of organization for living things are cell, tissue, organ, and system. And the organization starts, the most basic is the cell, followed by tissue, then organ, then system. So cell is the lowest level or the basic level of organization of life. Get to chemistry. How many moles are there in 30 grams of calcium carbonate? Given that calcium is 40, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16. A is 0.20, B is 0.50, C 1.0, D 0.30. The answer is D, 0.30. How did that come about? Given the mass of calcium carbonate to be 30 grams, that is given in the question, the molar mass of calcium carbonate is 100. How did we come about 100? 100 is gotten from the fact that as it is given here, calcium is 40. So when you say 40 plus 12, this 40 here plus 12, then oxygen here is 3 times. So you say 16 times 3. So 16 times 3 is around 16 times 3 plus 12 plus 40 will give you 100. That's how we got that the molar mass of calcium carbonate is 100. But you're looking at the mole that is contained in only 30 instead of the 100. So you can simply say that 1 mole of calcium carbonate is equal to 100. Then X mole of calcium carbonate is equal to 30. To make X the subject of the formula, it will give you 30 over 100 to give 0.3 mole. Now 10 dm cube of water was added to 2 mole per dm cube of 2.5 dm cube solution of hydrogen chloride. What is the concentration of the final solution in mole per dm cube? Very, very simple. The options are 0.4, 0.5, 2.0 and 8.0. To get this, simply use the general concentration formula or dilution theory known as C1V1 equal to C2V2, and we are given V1 to be 2.5, then C1 to be 2.0, because that is the initial volume 2.5 that later received extra volume of 10. Understand? And the concentration then was 2.0 mole per dm cube. So we want to find the final concentration, which is C2. So make C2 the subject of the formula. You get this. So the final volume V2 should be V1 plus the 10 that was added. So V1 you already know is 2.5. C1 you already know is 2.0, but V2 is V1 plus 10 that was added, making it 12.5. So what you're looking for now is C2. So you make it the subject of the formula, you get your answer. A compound contains 40% carbon, 6.7% hydrogen, and 53.3% oxygen. If the molecular mass of the compound is 180, its molecular formula is A CH2O, B C6H6O3, C C3H6O3, D C6H12O6. So if you make a simple table like this, you can be able to solve this from the formulas that we've given in the class. The answer is actually the C6H12O6. Now if you divide the various elements that we are given, like carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, first of all you check their percentage composition. Their percentage composition for carbon is 40, hydrogen 6.7, oxygen 53.3. It's already given. So the mass, which is the same thing as the percentage composition that is inside the compound, you have 40, 6.7 and 53.3. So number of moles, you divide each of them by their molecular mass. So for carbon the molecular mass is 12, so you have 40 over 12. For hydrogen the molecular mass is 1, you have 6.7 over 1. For oxygen the molecular mass is 16, you have 53.3 over 16. Now you divide what you get by the smallest quantity, which is 3.33, so that you get 1, 2 and 1. So they are actually in the ratio of 1, 2 and 1. So the empirical formula is actually C. This is the empirical formula, CH2O. So if you put N, which is what you're actually looking for, to know what to multiply out with to get the molecular formula, you know that empirical formula times N is equal to the molar mass. And this empirical formula times N gives you the molecular formula. So make n the subject of the formula here, replacing these with the molar masses. So you will now get n to be 6. So if you use 6 and now multiply out here, you have C6H12O6, which is actually the molecular formula. So we get to physics. Now, which of the quantities listed above are vectors? We have I to be electrical potential, II to be torque, III to be kinetic energy, IV to be momentum. So A is 2 and 3, B is 2 and 4, C is 1 and 3, D is 1 and 2. So the answer is B, 2 and 4. Why? Given 4 quantities, electrical potential or kinetic energy are all scalar quantities, whereas torque and momentum are vector quantities. Note that all forms of energy are scalar quantities. So it leaves us with the option of only torque and momentum to be the answer. Take note. The diagram above shows two vectors at right angles to each other. The value of the resultant is what? A 14 newtons, B 10 newtons, C 12 newtons, D 13 newtons. Resultant vector R is always equal to the square root of the squares of the other sides. So you know the other sides are 6 and 8, so they are squares. Then put square root of the both of them and add them together. You get add them up and do the square root, you get 10. So B is the answer. Take note, it's a simple formula. Just know that the resultant is equal to the addition of the squares of the other side, the square root of the addition of the squares of the other sides. Now the resultant of two forces is 50 newtons. If the forces are perpendicular to each other and one of them makes an angle of 30 degrees with the resultant, find its magnitude. This is similar to the first one. A is 100, B is 43.3, C is 25.0, D is 57.7 newtons. Now diagrammatically, this is what we are looking at. So this is the resultant force. So one is making an angle of 30, you can see it. To the result, this is the resultant making an angle of 30. So you want to find F. Let F be the force at 30 degrees with R, which is the resultant value 50 newtons. Force is equal to R cos theta. See that? So cos theta is actually cos 30. So force is equal to 50 cos 30 to give us 43.3. So take note of that simple formula. Economics. The logical sequence of basic concepts in economics is A. Scarcity, wants, choice, and scale of preference. B. Wants, scarcity, choice, and scale of opportunity cost. C. Scarcity, choice, scale of preference, and opportunity cost. D. Wants, choice, scarcity, opportunity cost. So this is the answer. Want. No, this is not the answer. I think B is the answer. Wants, scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. So B is the answer. Wants, scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. That's the logical. If you check our first note in concepts of economics, quickly go to check the links so that you see the other videos, the playlist on it in economics. You see these sequences already explained there. The choice of what to produce in a communist economy is determined by a communist economy is the economy that is run by the government. So in a situation where the economy is run by the government, the choice of what to produce is also determined by the central government. So D is the answer. So D, the government. Also a socialist economy or communist economies, their distribution of goods and services are controlled by the government. So take note. A decision on input combination solves the economic problem of. Whenever you hear decision of input combination, it simply tells us how to produce. How do we make the input? So solve the problem of how to produce. The problem of how to produce is a technical issue and has to do with how factors input can be combined in order to produce a good. Government. Political values are required in any given society, are acquired. This should be acquired, not required. And political values is actually acquired through political socialization. Check the note, you'll see the answer. Political socialization. Political campaign is associated with political parties, while political reorientation and political indoctrination are used by government to achieve specific objectives. But political socialization gives us the norms and our political culture. The rule of law is the negation of absolute power. That's the answer, absolute power. When there is rule of law, then nobody is above the law. So there is nothing like absolute power in a society where there is rule of law. So it's a negation of absolute power. The other options are attributes of rule of law. But absolute power is not a parcel of rule of law. To ensure the rights and freedom of citizens, the powers of the government, of the arms of government must be, the answer is separated. There has to be separation of power. So every day you hear about separation of power. Is very, very important so that everybody's rights will be protected. If the powers are focused and incorporated, government will become too powerful and the rights and liberties of the citizens will be jeopardized. Accounting. The 3 cash book differs from 2 column in that the 3 column, this is actually the 3 column cash book differs from the 2 column in that the 3 column has a column for discount. Discount is it because the other ones have columns for cash, bank and folio. So they have extra column for discount. That's why it is called a 3 column cash book. The general ledger contains, the answer is real and nominal account. Those are the things that are contained in the general ledger, real and nominal account. Cost reports for the attention of the management should reflect cost and comparable data useful in decision making. D. Very, very important, take note. Commerce. The concept that refers to sale, transfer and exchange of goods and services is known as trade. C is the answer. Transfer, sale and exchange of goods is trade. The most important function of commerce is it facilitates exchange among individuals and firms. D is the answer. Exchange, very, very important. That's what trade does. The wealth of a nation depends on the volume of its commercial activity. That's what the wealth of nation depends. Its commercial activity. B. CRK. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The statement above was made in reference to the call of Isaiah. A. That's the answer. Isaiah. Check this word both as you get this. I am the Lord, and there is no other besides me. There is no God. God's statement above through Isaiah depicts the divine nature of Lord, the God, that he is the only person that has the power. According to David in the Psalms, God forgives sin so that, what's the reason why God forgives sin? So that the sinner may not perish. B is the answer. So that the sinner may not perish. Agriculture. The forest management system, which involves the planting of both food crops and tree crops on the same piece of land at the same time, is called Tongia. Know that Tongia is that management system that ensures food crops and forest trees are planted on the same farmland. Which of the following groups of crops are mostly cultivated in the rainforest zone of Nigeria? The crops that are cultivated in the rainforest zone, which the rainforest zone in Nigeria is the south, southeast, south, southwest. So it's mainly maize, cocoyam and cassava. You don't find wheat or millet or sorghum or dates mostly there. So take note. The answer is A. When farmers engage in both plant and animal husbandry, he is practicing what? Mixed farming. Mixed farming is planting and at the same time rearing animal. So take note of that. Literature in English. The playing of a specific part in dramatic activity without fully transforming into the character is known as role playing. Role playing, D, is the playing of specific parts in dramatic activity without fully transferring into the character. When you are imitating another person, it is called role playing. The imaginary and invented stories of gods or heroes which the society set aside as being sacred are known as what? Myth. Myth is the answer, C. Myth is imaginary and invented story. Legend is the hero in the myth. So take note. The speech made at the end of a dramatic performance is generally called an epilogue. An epilogue, that is the speech made at the end of a dramatic performance. Take note. Geography. The South Pole is in darkness from when to when? When is the South Pole in darkness? The answer is A. June 21st to December 22nd of the same year. June 21st to December of the second year. Where this so take note. The difference between a place in longitude 35 degrees west and another in longitude 25 degrees east is what? If you do the calculation, you get it to be 4 hours. Longitude difference is 35 plus 25. Since one is in west and one is in east, so you add to get 60 degrees. Then since 15 gives 1 hour difference, 60 should give 4 hour difference. An area of the world that is likely to have 24 hours sunshine on July of any year is the what? Is the northern polar. So click here to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you can be getting our lecture videos. Thank you.